Penny Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds.
Why do we have to see that? It's been shown in like 8 episodes.
Because Kristin's eating a bunch with all these shirtless Sawyer scenes.
I want to talk to you about your buddy.
Is that Clancy Brown?
Translate.
Yeah.
For a scary movie, I'd be with a hot chick, not you, Barbar.
I don't remember.
You would remember!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Kristin, Michael, Kevin, and I are here for Lost Season 2, Episode 14. And yeah, some more stuff is coming to light, and we've now got a prisoner. So...
Oh my gosh. What's Azkaban in Lost? Like the prisoner of the hatch?
Prisoner of the armory.
Right?
Yeah, we have a new character. It's exciting times. This is a heavy episode. Heavy.
This is a very heavy episode. Has everything to do with Sayid. We also get Clancy Brown appearing in this episode. I mean, I recognized him immediately. He's pretty recognizable. And also, I mean, his voice, not just his appearance, but his voice too. So I'm like, yay, that's Mr. Krabs.
The Krabs on the show.
Who apparently speaks fluent... What language is that? I don't know what language...
Arabic? I don't...
Does he speak Arabic? I don't know what language it is that he speaks, like, officially, like... But whatever it is, apparently he also speaks that fluently. On top of speaking...
Could have done it.
Right, he could have done it.
Yeah,
That's how you do it for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Clancy Brown is that good, so...
So, is Sayid the new John Locke getting conned into doing the dirty deeds?
No. No.
Sayid. I do have some fun facts for this episode. We get the numbers quite a bit. I don't know if you guys are picking up on them. But Henry Gale does tell us that he crashed 4 months ago. That one was very evident. Also, Sayid does mention after he does the torture that the pilot has been buried 4 kilometers from there, so he can take him to him. He also brings up that he was 23 when America comes into his country, so he was 23. Locke, when he goes to give Jack the combination, the first number out of his mouth is 15. Obviously, Jack shuts him down and says open it himself, but he does say 15. The one that's not seen, and I don't know if you guys picked this one up because it's pretty much a lot of the numbers. We've got the video when he forces Sayid to watch the video of the attack. The numbers on the bottom of the video are 23-108-42.
Oh, wow.
That's all of them.
Yeah.
Pretty much any number they threw on that video. Another fun reference, and this is for me. I don't know if you guys... I'm a massive Wicked/Wizard of Oz fan. And apparently so were the writers of Lost. And so bringing in Henry Gale, they brought him in on an air balloon. And his name is Henry Gale, which is Dorothy's uncle, Henry Gale.
Oh,
they
okay.
did try and throw in some Wizard of Oz references there. And I absolutely loved it. Like, immediately, first time I ever watched it, I was like, okay, Wizard of Oz with the air balloon and Henry Gale. Like, immediately, like, watching it back when it aired. So, that's just a fun reference to throw in. It's fun to see. We've seen this time and time again with writers when they throw in random things that you're like, oh, that was a fun way to throw in like a random.
That's
like
a cute
we get all the like nicknames from Sawyer a lot of the times. We got some in this episode, but we Jabba and Barbar, all these things that they throw in randomly, and I think it's just kind of a fun way for them to bring in other things where you can connect more to the episode by getting those things thrown into it. So yeah, a lot of fun.
And also, the whole the whole premise of this is, who is this guy and is he telling the truth? So like, it's also quite a clever idea from the writers that we're going to name him after like a character on another thing. So it's like, could that be an alias? Could that be a deliberate thing? Or is that just a reference? It's like sowing the seeds more of like, who is this guy and can we trust him or can't we trust him?
Right, and I think that they also did that, like, not only just throwing, they could have named it anything and like didn't do the reference to Wizard of Oz, but yeah, that we're trying to figure out he's telling a story which we're gonna get to, and he's gonna he has all the details. We have Sayid that's convinced, Rousseau's convinced, but like, I mean, listening to his story, so like we're led to believe like, is he or isn't he? Because we have no idea. Like, Sayid is definitely 100% convinced, and so is Rousseau, but. Jake, I'm going to jump off before we even get into it. Where are your thoughts right now? Where are you? Is he Henry Gale? Is he who he's saying he is? Or do you believe he's another? Do you believe Sayid?
I'm thinking I'm tending to believe Sayid at this point. I mean, also the fact, like, we're going to talk about it later, but obviously the emotional moment that Sayid is going through about Shannon, obviously, like, I would believe him because obviously, if you love somebody, you're going to remember everything about, like, even when they passed, or like, I just feel like you're going to remember things like that. And, like, if he was that, I guess, upset about it. I mean, I know some people like push trauma out. And so I don't know. It's a little bit, but I do
called repression. It's a great defense mechanism.
Yeah. But I think I'm gonna believe it. I mean, this is a bit strange, but maybe this really did happen. I did think about it. Didn't Desmond mention something about hot air balloon? I could be wrong on that, but I thought there was some other mention of a hot air balloon.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch that.
Not off the top of my head, but I don't know for sure.
But he also brings up his wife. We're going to get into all the details of it. Sorry, but he brings up his wife has been sick, and we know that we've talked about this. You know what I mean? That they didn't want the baby to be sick and all these things. So,
yeah.
Talking about the fevers and things, we know that Desmond brought it up as well. So, I mean,
didn't Rousseau talk about her crew getting sick too?
Sick, yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you really don't know at this point. You know what I mean? So, right. I wanted to get your jump off because I don't know, Kevin, Michael, do you remember back when you first watched this? Where your head was at?
Remember 2005. I did not believe a word that came out of this man's mouth.
Yeah,
Michael, where were you?
I was very firmly in the camp of like that man's lying.
I remember. So I've been a big fan of Michael Emerson for a long time. Like he was in other things before Lost. He was in Saw. He was in The Practice. He's been in a bunch of things. He's an incredible actor. So when I saw him on this, I was like, oh, amazing! He's a fantastic actor. So I was willing myself to believe that he was telling the truth, because I was like, I want this guy to be telling the truth because I don't want anything bad to happen to him. He's my guy. I think I probably was leaning more towards he is another than he isn't. I think purely just, it's weird when you watch shows where you often go down the route of what would be more interesting, and it would be more interesting if he was another. So like when you think about writing the show, I'm like, he's probably going to be another, but I don't know. Like Jack looks at Sayid says, he's very convincing.
Yes. Well, and I remember it's funny that we're getting to this episode because I was literally on a call with my high school best friend who I've mentioned before. Literally 2 nights ago, we were talking about Henry Gale, and I remember us watching this and immediately getting on the phone like, oh gosh, is it another? Is it real person? What's happening? And so I remember both of us go, for me, I was like, okay, he could be an other, but he is very, and we know from literally the episode before where Sawyer's like, it's all in the details. And so I remember both of us like going back and forth being like, could Sayid just be like, because he brings up at the end, which we're all going to get to, of him saying, I'm convinced because I don't feel any like remorse for this. But it's like, I know for us specifically, we were in I think that he's telling the truth, and Sayid is maybe, again, just probably looking for somebody to blame. He's saying he doesn't feel remorse, but that's because he's really sad over Shannon, which I don't understand, but really sad over Shannon. So, I'm convinced at this point. So it's just one of those things.
Sayid is emotionally compromised.
100%.
Like, whether or not we've talked about him being a human lie detector, I think what we've seen with Sayid here, that is not the Sayid that we've seen who is, focused and rational. He is emotional, and that's not necessarily the best to get the truth.
Honestly, yeah, no, I think Sayid saying that, I think, was like almost evidence for Henry Gale's story to be real, right? Like that was like points against it being like, but like as I was watching this episode, I was like, don't trust that man. Don't trust him. Don't trust him, Jack. Don't trust him, Jack.
Yeah, it's just such a good episode because we have no idea. We have zero idea. I can't like this to set up how like moving forward, like we have a whole new character and we still don't know the story, which was great of Lost to kind of end on that. Like, have you forgotten? No, we haven't. Let's get to the next episode,
Right.
Anyway, shall we jump into it?
Well, I just wanted to ask, is the actor for Henry Gale, is that the guy from Person of Interest?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's because I thought I recognized his face, so I was like, okay, no, that he is a good actor.
Another fantastic.
Another Fallout recently as well. Yeah, he's always great.
Yeah, he is always great. So yeah, jumping in. We are opening with a flashback, which we haven't done in a while. And it is Sayid, and they are in a bunker / cave, wherever they're at, but they're like gets destroying evidence. We hear bombing going on. We know that this is the war. We've heard Sayid talk about these things before, but obviously they're like destroying things. We have the commanding officer. He says, I'm your commanding officer. You do as I say, keep going. And then they come in, the Americans come in, and they're like, stop what you're doing. Like, we're gonna shoot you. They're all just not listening. One guy's like, they don't understand. He's like, oh, they understand. Somebody understands me in this room. We're going to get to the bottom of it. You need to tell this man to stop or I'm going to kill him right now. To which Sayid goes, stop, and tells him, to stop. He's like, oh, perfect. You're the one I've been looking for. I need to talk to you. We're going to need you. So then they do capture Sayid. And they're like, hey, because you can speak English, we're going to need you to do some translating. We're going to need you for this. Little does he know this is going to lead to a whole thing for Sayid, which is going to affect him the rest of his life. But we are led to believe that he is just going to be translating for them. They need to find their pilot. Their pilot has gone missing. They know where he went down. They know that this guy is going to know. They bring up, do you know Tariq? And he's like, yeah, he was our commanding officer. He fled the scene. No idea where he's at. And he went to Hilla. And they're like, well, welcome to Hilla. And come in, and there he is in all of his glory. Sayid's probably like foot in the mouth, like, whoopsie. I mean, you guys are gonna pull that one, but okay. We jump over to Sayid. He is shirtless. I mean, you're not Sawyer. Just put the shirt back on. But Anna Lucia comes running out of the jungle in a panic, and she's like, "Where's Jack? We need Jack." He's like, "What the hell's going on?" To where she leads, and she's like, "There's somebody here. It's Rousseau." He instantly recognizes her. We know that Rousseau has had questionable past with this camp, stealing babies and things like that. So he's like, go away. I will take care of this. Do not tell anybody. Like, let it go, because there's some bad blood between this woman and our camp.
I actually got this.
Right. This is going to be a problem because she's not the most loved of this camp right now. So he goes over to Rousseau. Rousseau, he's like, what are you doing here? She's like, I was looking for you. Totally perfect timing. It's a great thing for everyone. She leads him out into the jungle. He is not having it. He's like, what are you doing to me? What's happening? What's going on? And she's like, I just need you to trust me. Like, let's go. She kind of, Rousseau in her past, like, Sayid is putting a lot of trust into Rousseau in this moment, because I don't know if I'd necessarily be like, yeah, sure, I'll follow you for no reason whatsoever. But yeah,
Russo is fine. She's not gonna hurt
fine.
Sayid. It's fine.
She's not losing her mind or anything.
She's a little crazy, but not like gonna hurt Sayid crazy.
But then we immediately go back to the flashback of I almost said Sawyer because I love him so much, of Sayid starting to question Tariq, and him he's just not having it. This is not going to go anywhere. He is so, like, he's even telling Sayid, in Arabic, which we're assuming is Arabic, but if we're wrong, comment and let us know. But he's like, I'm not telling you anything. Like, shoot this guy, grab the gun. Like, he is not having it. He's like, we're not doing this. This is not who we are, Sayid. So I'm gonna stop it there. That's kind of our opening. Jake, like, first time watching it, where are you at kind of with this opening site? We know we're getting a Sayid story. We get Rousseau back, which Lord knows where we're going with that one.
Yeah, I mean, once I saw like them go out and I saw like someone walking in the clothing, I was like, okay, it's Rousseau, because her clothing and everything, the way she walks are kind of distinct, and how they frame her in shots. So I was like, okay, so what's the problem now? And so for her to lead Sayid to like this mysterious person, as we'll talk about, is pretty interesting. And then otherwise, yeah, just getting more into Sayid's past and how he learned how to do this stuff. Again, very, very interesting. So I guess that's kind of my thoughts on like the opening, I guess. I'm trying to think if I have anything else, but I think that's all I have for this little bit.
I think sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
No, I was just gonna say, for all of you kids out there, this is airing in 2005.
Yeah.
So to depict the war this way, right, where like there isn't really a clear-cut good guy or bad guy, right? Like, he's so like I'm pleasantly shocked that like they present Sayid, who is working for the Republican Guard, right? Like, they present him in a sympathetic way. They portray the Americans as like, they're gonna shoot this guy, like, and not care, right? Like, and yes, they are also like, there is no like clear cut who is good, who is bad. And I appreciate Lost so much for doing that. It's like the horrors of war. It's not just taking a side. And yeah, this opening, Sayid and Sawyer can both go for a swim. They can both take their shirts off.
You can have Sayid. I'll just take Sawyer.
I will take it.
No, I was going to bring up that too. I wanted to bring up 2 points, and then Michael, I'll let you go too. To your point, Kevin, is like, we've brought this up before. Like, Lost, like, it's crazy. Like, we've talked about where they like immediately, this is after 9/11, where they were talking about Sayid having the bomb like in the first season here of being the terrorist and things like that. Like, they're pushing the limits to this, and especially because this is so fresh for us, for us to sympathize with an Iraqi man after all of these things that have happened in 9/11. It's just like they're pushing
soldier, like,
right, they are pushing the boundaries, and it's for good reason. Like, it's flawless, it's seamless, it's so good. And we brought that up before back in season 1 and things like that, but it's for that time and where America was in that moment. It's kind of, I mean, granted, it's a few years later, but we're still kind of
it was only 2005. It was
right. This is not so far in the future, but yeah. So kudos to them for that. I also wanted to bring up this moment with Rousseau is like, we know the last time she's like, pillar of black smoke, and they are cover the, it's like, I can't imagine Sayid being like, okay, you've already used the pillar of smoke excuse. This is like dog ate your homework kind of thing. What are we using now? You know what I mean? It's almost like I can't imagine what Saeed's going to sit there and be like, she's going to take me out of the jungle, and then what? And then what? What is her next thing to get us all like to steal a baby again or whatever? So it's kudos to Sayid for walking out, like being not shutting her down immediately.
I do love the kind of like the half trust respect they have for each other, right? Like that, like she knows, like, well, I've kind of messed with these people, and I probably like, you probably should like attack me, and he's like, she is kind of crazy, and I probably shouldn't trust her. But they both are like, but this person, they also give me good information, so I will trust them for now. I love that dynamic.
Michael, what you got?
Yeah, the only thing I really had was the whole Russo thing, because this is the first time we've seen her since everything that went down in the season 1 finale. So I do like that they at least acknowledge that as like, I don't really know if I can trust you. You know, last time you were here, things went quite badly and a baby was stolen. So excuse me if I'm not just going to follow you straight into the jungle. But yeah, I like that Rousseau kind of drops in, and it like signifies things going to the next level of the storytelling. It's like, okay, Rousseau's back, and now we're getting another potential other introduced. It's like, once again, just stepping up that drama. Whenever she's around, it's an interesting episode. Yes. She always adds like that extra spice to it.
Yes.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get with Rousseau, and that's kind of, again, like the beauty of Lost is she's like that, like, I don't know.
I love that. I love that type of character.
Let's like hold on to our butts and hope nothing crazy goes down. But yeah, so I mean, jumping back into the beach of it all, my man Sawyer, so pissed off about a tree frog. He's so cute. But he is not having it. He's all upset. He goes right up to Jin. Like, do you hear that? Jin completely ignoring him, does not even like barely look up at him and just continues. And he's like, what? We're not friends anymore? Well, no, look at what you did the other day, literally last night. What are you doing? But we do have him, Sawyer goes into the jungle looking for this tree frog, and he stumbles upon Hurley, who is having a good old snack sesh out there with his little stash. Sawyer is basically using this as his ammo for Hurley. I mean, I don't think he went into that anticipating that, but then he's like, interesting. You have your own stash. Wonder what everybody would think about that. And Hurley's like, shit, I'm gonna be hated just like Sawyer. Crap. And he's like, all right, help me find this stupid frog because it's driving me nuts and I won't tell anybody about this. And Hurley's like, oh, okay. I didn't really want to do this, but okay. We do have Rousseau. She is still leading Sayid out into the jungle. He is like, I'm not going. Okay. I trusted you for a minute. We're going out here. We got a problem here. I don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, I'm getting too far away from my people to trust you.
I'm not feeling safe anymore. You are cray cray. And she's like, that's okay. We're here. Like, it's fine. And all of a sudden you start hearing yelling, and he's like, what is that? And she's like, Sayid, no, wait, we have to talk. He immediately, as Sayid does, runs to figure out what's going on. And we find a man in a net, and but he immediately is running to
at least buy her a drink first.
Right. Going into action as Sayid does, and you hear her yelling after Sayid, wait, listen, I need to tell you something. Sayid, stop, like I have to tell it. And he's just not hearing it. And he is like, how long has he been up here? And he's like, I've been up here since last night, and my name's Henry Gale. Help me, like, she's crazy. And he's like, I'm cutting him down. And she's like, no, stop, wait, like, Sayid, stop, I'm trying to talk to you, damn it. And to which he does cut Henry down. Henry sees her loading up her crossbow, and he's like, I am out of here. This lady is nuts. Starts to take off, and she shoots him with a crossbow. And don't fuck with Rousseau. Literally do not mess with this woman. She tells Sayid, she's like, tie him up. He's going to lie. For a long time, he is going to lie. But I promise you, he is one of them. Take him back to your people. But I'm telling you, listen to me. I know I'm a little cray-cray, but listen to me. He is another. I
thought that you were, and I was wrong about that. But this time, this time, I'm sure.
This time, I'm sure. But I mean, you didn't see Sayid kind of like on his face, like, okay, crazy lady, let me get back to my camp because I don't want to be out here with you any longer. But we jump over into another flashback. And this is where they tell Sayid who Tariq really is, because obviously Sayid is a very loyal soldier. He is not going to turn over Tariq. He is not going to do any of these things. But that's when we are introduced to Mr. Krabs, if you will. And he is letting Sayid know, hey, I get the loyalty of it all, but you need to learn about your buddy. Here's your village where you had family in, and look what he did with this gas situation. And he shows basically them get gas poured upon themselves, and not gas and like gasoline, guys. It's like not that. But basically it's a horrible way to die. Sarin gas is horrible thing. If you ever want to go into like the gases of war, like mustard gas and all of those things, I definitely implore you to like look up what each individual thing does. It's terrible. But yeah, basically unleashes this upon this village. Sayid is now, he's pissed. Like, he's like, okay, turn it off. I don't want to hear anymore. And he's like, well, I need you to go find out where our pilot is, and hands him a little tackle box, if you will, a little toolbox. And this is where we're like, oh, this is it. This is where we're going to find out how Sawyer on the brain, Sayid becomes a torturer. So, Jake, leading into this is our first time that we see Henry Gale in a net. Rousseau's kind of crazy, and then kind of leading into what we're getting into Sayid's story. We know this is about to be a heavy episode. Like, walk us through you seeing this for the first time.
Yeah, seeing the prisoner for the first time, recognizing the actor, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. So is this character who he claims he is, or is he just lying completely? So it's definitely intriguing, and I'm excited to see more. It was crazy that Russo just straight up shot this man with a crossbow. Like,
wait, she didn't even wait.
Yeah,
she didn't say it. She just went. Boom.
Yeah, just like straight up. I mean, luckily this wasn't Chewbacca's crossbow from Star Wars, or I think it would have sent him flying. And so I don't know, like, or bowcaster, I guess it is in Star Wars terms. But anyway, but yeah, no, it's just like that was crazy. So I did not expect that, and then yeah, I mean. I'm very interested to see what happens there. And then, yeah, as I already said, it was cool to once again see Mr. Krabs in another show. Feel like I've been seeing him a lot lately because he was in Daredevil as well. So, yeah, no, I'm just, it's really funny.
I mean, surely the whole point was that she was bringing Sayid, like, when he was cutting him down, he's like, "You're making a huge mistake." He's like, "What did you want him to do?
Right.
Don't take him down. What, just come visit him in the net every now and then? You live up there now. We don't take him down. You don't need to shoot with a crossbow.
Leave him up there for another day or two so he gets a little weaker.
He's her new Tweety bird.
Yeah, no, I love how she also just like loads it, boom, shoots him, and then you shot him, and she's like, if I wanted to kill him, I would have. Like, it's so
I won't be dramatic, Sayid.
Right, how dare you?
It's so funny.
Well, to that point too, though, she Jake brings up, she didn't even hesitate. She got it out before he even like realized that the dude was in the net. He's like, "What are you doing with that?" She's like, "We're gonna need it later on because right. I know you, Sayid. You're gonna take this guy down. He's gonna try." Like, she knew exactly. She was ready and willing to shoot. But yeah, I love that she also was like, he's like, "You could have killed him." No, if I wanted to, I would have.
Yeah, and then Sayid, poor Sayid, like having to watch this footage to be like forced to interrogate this person and like turn on this person. Ugh, brutal.
Yeah, for sure. Any other thoughts?
I've got nothing unless Michael does. Nope. All right, so we get Sayid waking up John Locke. This is my favorite moment of all time because it takes the man like 10 years to wake up.
I mean, he's an older man.
No, listen, I feel this
I'm
because
not a
this
morning
is
person
me
either.
too. Like, my kids wake me up and I'm like, what day are we on? Like, it's like,
there have times I have called you for this very podcast,
right?
And you're like,
hello, what?
With one eye open, like, what?
What's happening? Where am I supposed to be right now? Yeah, so I do love making fun of Locke in this moment. Locke is very much me. Do not wake me up in my little slumber of having a good old time. But yeah, they start to question Henry. Dude's still got the arrow dead in his arm, but they're like, "Who are you? Where are you from? What you doing? What's your name? How old are you?" All the things. And Jack, of course, comes in and he is not having this. He is mad. He's like, "What are you doing? Who is this person? Why is he bleeding all over my rug? Like, what's happening?" And they were like, "We wanted to ask him some questions, like
just a little question.
Why not? Like, what's the problem?" Jack is pissed. He's like, "This is ridiculous. We're not doing this. This is not happening." But Sayid goes, "Fine, sure, help the man out. Do not untie him." And he is very serious about that. Do not untie him. We go back out into the jungle with with Sawyer and Hurley. Sawyer being his jackass self as usual, but I love him for it. And Hurley's basically like, yeah, I'm the fat guy. I don't care. I am the fat guy, but they all love me. I am the lovable fat guy, and who are you? And then Sawyer, of course, is like, oh, damn it, I'm sorry. And see, he's a nice guy. He realized that was messed up. So he said, I'm sorry. And with that, they continue on their journey to find this stupid frog. Sawyer, like, pick our battles here. I love you. Like, meet me back in the tent over this frog. But he is obsessed with this frog right now.
The boar now, the frog.
Right.
He has issues with animals disturbing him.
He cannot
People pay for like a calm.com membership so that they can play the sounds of those frogs playing while they sleep. And he's hunting it down.
But meanwhile, back in the hatch, Jack, of course, removes the arrow from Henry. Sayid and Locke have a little plan while Jack is doing this.
Let's be fair. Sayid has a plan.
Well,
Sayid has a plan.
He pushed Locke into helping him execute this plan.
Thank you.
They're both on the same page.
We need to
he gets Locke onto his page.
We need to figure out who this man is. Jack's not going to like the way that we have to go about this. How long is it going to take you to change that combo? And he's like, like a couple minutes. He's like, best get going. Best get going on that because he's about done wrapping this dude up and we're going to have to do some stuff. Of course, they get Henry all bandaged up. They move him into the armory. He brings up that that's probably the safest spot right now because people are going to come to the hatch and wonder who this person is. A lot of questions that we don't have answers for right now. We need to find out those answers before we tell people, let's move him to the armory. I love how Sayid's like, oh, definitely the armory. It's a perfect place to put him. I didn't have a plan all along. Jack. So Jack also getting conned in this moment, and is no better than John Locke. So you guys can have fun with that. But they do move him into the armory, and Jack's like, you know what? He shouldn't be on his back. Let me go get him a cot. Sayid's like, you go get him that cot. Let's do that. To which he immediately locks the door behind him. Jack's like, Sayid, hey, Sayid, are you there? Wait, what's happening? Locke, open the thing. He's like, Locke, open this up. He's like, better not. Don't think so. I don't want between you.
Locke's like, somebody else already convinced me not to.
Right. So with that, Locke is just not cooperating. And then we have Sayid going, I'm going to get some answers as he pulls his hair back. He's like, I'm like, oh, Jesus, this man is screwed.
Oh, guy.
He is done for. We do pull over into the flashback where Sayid does start to question Tariq now. He is fueled with very much anger over what he's done to this village. And Tariq is like, you're not going to do this. I'm your commanding officer. This is not going to happen. He's pulling the same thing that he did before, but Sayid's not having it anymore because Sayid is now pissed. And to which Tariq tells him, put this bag over your head and kill yourself right now. You are not going to do anything to me. Sayid's like, let me just get out my pliers. Let me just get out my claw.
I don't know why he thought like he could just like insult Sayid a bunch.
Right.
And then he takes it one step further, and this is where I'd be like, oh, we're going to town now. He spit on him. Do not spit on me. Are you insane?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You want to be tortured?
Right. Because even if you didn't, you're about to get it even 10 times worse than before.
But listen, I understand this because I have an attitude problem. So if I know the torture's coming anyway, I'm going to piss you off on the way there. So I get it.
Listen, you might have had a less torturing, but no, now you're going to get even more.
You're going to torture me anyway. Before you rip this finger off, sit and spin on it. Like.
But we do see that Sayid does come out after some time. We do see everybody pacing outside. They were hoping to get this information about this pilot. And Sayid comes out. And I mean, honestly, this is again, we talk about how heavy this episode is. Getting Sayid to he was this soldier that was doing what he was told and things like that to now he's just tortured somebody. He comes out so down, like he is just so down. And he's like, well, your pilot's been dead. I'm so sorry. He's buried 4 kilometers here. I'll take you to him. Hands over the toolbox with the bloody hands. It's like you can't even imagine the torture himself going through that after that first time of doing that. It's just like no one ever signs up to do that to anybody. They kind of force him into this. And it's just I do feel very bad for Sayid in this moment that it's something you never thought you would ever have to do, and here you are that you just tortured a man to get information. So, very heavy situation in that flashback, and we have a couple of things that happen on the island. So, Jake, walk us through you going through this for the first time.
Yeah, as soon as I knew the scene was coming where they were going to take the arrow out of his chest, and I always hate that in shows and movies because you're expecting how gross it's going to be that they're just removing it, and the squishy sound of it coming out. I don't know, it's just bad.
Really realistic as well. It was like,
Yeah,
it must have been like semi-practically done. It looked like.
yeah. That's the cool thing to see too. And then obviously you have the torture scene, and I'm just like, yeah, why is this guy just straight up insulting Sayid? I mean, do you actually think that Saeed's not gonna go through with the torture? Like, I would.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, the torture's happening anyway. You might as well get a few digs in. Get some in for you too, because that's all you got left.
Well, I forgot, Kevin, you've had experience with that in Pirate Sarah. So, like, you do that on a daily basis, and
exactly.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, otherwise, yeah, for me, I just wouldn't chance it. I would not mess with Sayid here, especially would not spit in his face. And, so yeah, I knew as soon as he came out with the box, I'm like, he just absolutely ripped that man apart. So, yeah, it's crazy. These scenes are crazy, and obviously, Sayid's about to do that again with Henry, and with great emotion. Like we'll talk about that shortly because it is pretty heartbreaking actually for Sayid. So,
yeah,
okay, Henry, if he's telling the truth.
Well, yeah, if he's telling the truth, but I don't know that he is. So.
I think the most interesting part about this whole segment is the kind of moral dilemma, because I kind of don't pick a side really. I understand all sides of it. Like Locke, when it's jumping ahead slightly, but when he says to Jack, you're building an army, that we're at war. That's why you will build an army. They've been attacked. They've been killed. Charlie was hung from a tree.
Yeah.
They need to find out who this guy is, and Sayid is the guy to do that. But then morally, like, if this is just a random guy that has been caught in a net and and now he's been beaten and he doesn't even know why. I do like that little line when they say he's another, and Henry's like, another what?
Another
like,
what?
What the hell does that mean? Like, imagine hearing you're another, like, with no context.
Right. Another what? It's perfectly put in there.
Yeah, I think Sayid's like moral compass is very interesting, right? Because like he's doing the torturing, the flashback, because this person like hurt innocent people in the village, and like they just want the information to bring this pilot home to their family, right? Like there is a like valid reason to like want to get information from this person, to punish this person, but then like at the same time it goes pretty far. Like it takes a big toll like out of you to do that to someone. And then same thing, like he wants to protect his people that he's been on the beach with now for 50 something days, right? Like he wants to protect them, especially because he's now lost the love of his island in Shannon. But like he wants to protect them, so he knows that like he has to, but it takes such a toll out of him to do the thing that is the bad thing. Like his like morality, like there is a good there. Like there is a very, like he's the good person who does bad things, and I just think he's so interesting.
I think the issue I have with the torture is more the speed at which he goes to that. It's like with Tariq in the flashback, he knows who this guy is. He knows he is a bad man. He's seen evidence of the things he's done, and he does it for that reason. Here, like, they've just got this guy. Like, you could talk to him, like, have a conversation. I don't know. It's like he is so hurt and so emotional, but it's like he's so quick to beat the friggin' shit out of this guy, and it's like he might be telling the truth. Right. It's brutal. Like if he's telling the truth, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Right. But if he's not telling the truth, it's not brutal enough. Like that's like that's what I mean. It's
what makes it so fun.
It's such a like a moral dilemma, and like I just think it's interesting. It's interesting where he falls, no matter where he falls.
For sure. Well, let's get into, I mean, because this is where this whole thing that we're talking about is about to unleash the beast, if you will. We have, of course, I mean, is anybody shocked? Jack and Locke are fighting. I mean, that never happens. So, I mean, obviously they're fighting. He's pissed that he's like, what? And this is where Michael brought up. Well, he's like, you were doing an army. Like, this is a part of this. Like, we need to figure out who these people are. We go into the armory where we're seeing Sayid start to question Henry, and Henry is giving him all the detail. 4 months ago we crashed. Hot air balloon. I was rich and we wanted to cross the Pacific. My wife, here's her name. Here's her maiden name, Murphy. Like, he went into every single detail. Anything Sayid asked, he had every answer to. To give us a reprieve from all the seriousness that's about to go down, we do get Sawyer and Hurley back in the jungle, and they do find the frog. And do you think Sawyer's going to be very adorable in this moment? He's like, "Oh, look at little guy," and Hurley's like, "I'll take him away." And he's like, "Here you go. Here's a new snack. Dip him in ranch." Yeah. Sawyer. But he is Sawyer, and like, we're not shocked at this by any means, because Sawyer has proven time and time again that he is out for Sawyer and Sawyer himself. I tend to believe that Sawyer would also be out for me, but you know, that's just me. With that,
do you want him to crush you like a tree frog?
I do. Please crush me. Crush me, Sawyer.
Crush me like a tree frog, Daddy.
Thank you, Daddy Sawyer.
I mean, I definitely thought this tree frog looked like a poison dart frog. I said it there. Like, the coloration, I'm looking at it, and it literally is like bright colored with like black spots. That's what it looks like to me. So either that's going to come into play.
Listen, that's got to be an endangered species or something. He's got to have broken several laws to have done that.
Yeah,
he was being nice. He was just giving Hurley some more stuff to dip in his ranch.
But you literally touch a poison dart frog and you will get venom. So on you. So like I mean, whether that comes into play or not, I don't know. But it did not look like a tree frog based on design.
Oh, you never.
It did
just
not
never
like
see Sawyer again.
Right,
That's how they write him out.
Nap, his dirt nap, if you will.
It did not look like the tree frogs that Kristin and I get on our houses down here in Florida.
No, they can stay away too. Anyway, with that we go back to the hatch. This is probably one of my favorite things too. And Locke's like, he's trying to defend himself and his choices to Jack, and Jack's like, "Shut up, just shut up."
That was my favorite moment. Shut up.
I love Jack. It's my favorite quality of Jack's character. I love his impatience. Like when he's done, it's just like, just shut up. Like, I can't even be bothered to like come up with an argument. Just shut up.
Right. And I got to hear it on my TV, but then I was a few seconds ahead, so then I got to like turn the volume up on here and hear it on here, so I got to hear it twice. It was great.
Yeah, he's literally just over Locke at this point. This is not what he wants to do. And he's cleaning up. I also love this moment when he's cleaning up the blood off the floor, and Locke's just still going, and he like angrily swipes it. Like, you show him, Jack. You show him how hard you can like rub that blood off the ground. He's in a mood at this point. But he notices as he's cleaning up, where are the pliers? Where are the pliers? This takes us back into the armory. And again, he's wanting to know everything about this. Okay, tell me about your balloon. Okay, it's this wide. It's got a big smiling face on it. We had a beacon. This is why we stayed on the beach. Again, so many details that if you were not telling
me the type of beacon it was.
Right, exactly. And it's like, he's really going to town on like where you were sitting here like, there's no way this person's like, this is details that you just like don't come up with on the fly to lie, right? Like, this is like, I'm telling you the truth. Sayid's not having it. This is where we get this very, very emotional moment with Sayid. He brings up the wife. How did she die? She got a fever. She got sick. Where did you bury her? This is where we see Henry start to break down. And listen, this is where the part where you do start to believe Sayid of being like, you would know how far you buried her. You would know how many times you used a shovel, how many times you used your hands. You would know if the woman you loved, you buried her. And this is such a like heartbreaking moment for Sayid. Still don't know why he loves Shannon, but it's still such a heartbreaking moment for him that he's trying to explain to Henry, like, this is something you would know. All those other details, I don't care. You would know this. Now, this is where I want to argue, because we have a crazy man. I just was put in a net. I just was shot with a crossbow. Now I have a crazy man that's like asking me all these questions that I'm giving him the answers to. Now he's got pliers out. Now all these things. I'd start to panic and be like, I don't know what was the question? Like, what are you even asking me at this point? So instantly he's like, I don't know. He goes to town. He's like, I don't even care about the pliers. I'm going to use my plain old fists, and starts going to town on Henry. Going to town so badly that they hear it outside the armory. Now, mind you, this is a thick door. It is a metal door. Like, it is bad enough that they hear all of this happening, where Jack is like, Sayid! Again, knock, 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 Sayid! I need you to come to the door, please. This
hey, pal,
is
you wanna let us
in? He tells Locke to open it, and Locke's like, Jack, this has to happen. I don't know what to tell you. Well, lo and behold, saved by the bell, or by the button, if you will, the button starts to go off. Jack's like, oh, thank God, I got ammo now.
Jack's like,
grabs Locke, throws him against the door. You're going to open this door right now. He's like, Jack, you would never endanger all of our lives. He's like, I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't care. Let's see where it happens. Locke's like, Jack, you would not. Jack, what are you doing? Oh, shit, Jack's actually meaning business. Okay, fine, sure. We're getting down to, because Jack even mentions, he's like, you're down like to a minute now. What are you going to do? You gonna open this door, or are we going to all die? Like, what's going to happen? And Locke is just surprised that Jack is like calling his bluff at this point, to the point where Locke goes to give him the combination. He's like, I'm not an idiot. Well, open the damn door. Like, open the door.
What do you think? I'm an idiot? It was such a great line too.
So Locke does open up the door. He runs into the room. We've got 10 seconds left on the timer. He's trying to put in the numbers. He messes up the numbers. Meanwhile, Jack's rushing in to save Henry from Sayid, pulling Sayid off of him. And Locke looks up, and the timer has now gone down, and we're starting to see some hieroglyphics, starting to hear some sounds not good. So he hits execute, and we're back. We're good. It's back to 8. All is well. But yeah, it's to the point where he's pulled him out, and Jack is like, Sayid, bro, like, this was excessive. Like, we could have talked about this. And you know, Sayid he is convinced. He is convinced, which we're going to find out. I'm going to pause after I say this, but he is convinced that he is an other, obviously for his reasons that we'll get to. But Jack, even like Michael had mentioned earlier, Jack's like, dude, Rousseau thought you were another too. Remember, she had you tied to a bed and was electrocuting your ass every 5 seconds. So this is not the way to go about it, because you were doing the same things that Henry's doing. You kept saying your story over and over and over again, and you were telling the truth. So this is not how this is going to go. So I want to stop it here. There's a lot that just happened in this section. It's a very, very heavy section. There was no way to really break that up, except for the occasional times that I say that Shannon's not worth the upset. But with that, Jake, walk us through this first time of you watching this.
Yeah, this is heartbreaking for Sayid to be going through this, of like talking to this guy, and this guy can't remember, you know, what, you know, at the end of the day, him burying his wife. And you know, meanwhile, Sayid can remember Shannon, who he just met like 40 days ago. You know, that I do think that is very, very strange for a guy to not remember, you know, something about the end of a relationship that he's had for probably way longer than Sayid has had with Shannon. But that's my thoughts on that. It's very heartbreaking. And then obviously the most intriguing part, well, John Locke and Jack fighting again is really fun, but
we're shocked because it never happens.
Yeah, the Kevin and Michael of the show. So that is a fun interaction, and I'm glad we get more of it. But obviously, the intriguing moment that comes out of that is the button, and we finally get to see a little bit of what would happen if they didn't push the button.
What happens if we don't push the button?
Yeah.
What happens?
So getting to see a little bit of
Hieroglyphics show up.
really cool
Red and black hieroglyphics.
Yeah, I do not think I do not think like that's the end of it. I think we're getting ramifications for them not pushing the button in time, because that's like, I don't know, like I feel like we've never seen that happen before. And yeah, I just don't think, like, there has to be stakes for them not actually getting it in time, because they clearly did not hit it in the time that there was. So I'm excited to see like the ramifications for that. I mean, I feel like I don't know, like I just have been excited to see what would happen. And so, time for some chaos.
But yeah, like red hieroglyphs is so interesting, because I mean, no one expected that to be what comes after zero.
Right.
Like, there's going to be red hieroglyphs coming up.
It's very
like,
ominous.
What the hell does that mean? Yeah, and in the fact that there's like this whir and noise, like something building up as these hieroglyphs, and the hieroglyphs themselves are starting to slow down, as if like, okay, so what happens when the hieroglyphs stop? It's like, it's just another layer to the whole thing. And Locke is like, oh shit, that doesn't look good. Luckily, the button still works.
Yeah.
On the whole Henry Sayid stuff, like, that entire section is just amazing. Shout out to Naveen Andrews and Michael Emerson. Like, they are both so good in that scene. Like, I think it's like 3 scenes stitched together of just this intense interrogation. And I will say, whether he's telling the truth or whether he's not, I'm kind of on Kristin's side, where Sayid is like in this guy's. He's got an arrow. I know, right? He's got an arrow through his shoulder. He's been beaten bloody. He's had his finger threatened, and this guy's screaming in his face, "How many shovelfuls of earth did you dig?" Like I don't even think I'd remember my own name at that point. Like, I don't. Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he's being caught out in a lie. But I think that's what makes it interesting. I think it's very believable that in that situation the guy is panicking. Like, right. This is a frightening situation. And I do love the whole backstory of them as well. Like, also, little interesting thing. We have a show over here called Would I Lie to You? It's like a comedy panel show. And oftentimes when you watch that, like, if there's lots of details in the story and there's a really unrealistic part of the story, like, well, this has to be true because no one's making that up. If you've been caught, why would you say that you came to the island on a hot air balloon? Of all the ways to say that you arrived on this island, yeah, I traveled the world in a hot air balloon. I remember thinking, like, that's weird. That's an odd thing to throw in there.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I definitely, even though I am someone who, in general, I will block out those specific memories, right? Like, if it's me and I'm having to bury someone by hand, I'm going to, my brain is going to block a lot of that out. So I'm actually the opposite of what Sayid is saying. So, like, that should make me more believe Henry Gale. I think it was him saying I was really rich, like the past tense, that I was like, ha, I got you, right? Like, I remember looking at my TV like, ha, you can't fool me. But like, there are several signs pointing to I should believe you. And yeah, like Sayid's breakdown. I felt so bad for him. Oh, and Kristin, I don't know what I'm going to do when we get to least favorite character, but Sawyer squishing the frog is real bad. Like,
I mean, I'm going to make it my favorite just for that, because I hate all these freaking reptiles in Florida.
It fits in the palm of his hand. Like, it's a tiny little frog. I don't know. It's a tiny little defenseless frog. I don't know that I can support that. But like, I will say that is quite obviously intention, right? Like Kate says in the last episode, you want people to hate you, and like they're clearly like building him up as this character who is to be hated.
Yeah.
So it is intentional, but I mean, it worked. I don't like it.
Kristin would have called the frog Shannon and then happily squished it.
Yes, most definitely. No, like literally, like you guys don't understand. I don't do bugs. I'm haunted by a freaking lizard outside my door. I applaud.
She has called me for everyone.
I have actually
everyone
asked Kevin to drive to my house
to be like, "What do I do? There's a lizard outside." I'm like, "You walk outside. I don't know what to tell you." And she's like, "But it's too big." And I'm like, "It's literally
right."
not,
That's what I'm saying. So I applaud.
It's not even. It's a lizard. It's just on the wall. And she's like, "I can't go outside."
No, I mean, I'm gonna bring up this with Henry Gale is the like even Kevin, you brought up when he said I was rich. This isn't so unfathomable for him to say I was rich when he like literally
right.
He's been on an island for 4 months. So like, I mean, Sawyer even said too, like back when, gosh, Shannon, like he's like money's no good here, like you know what I mean. So like that's total. I don't see that being an issue here. I'm looking at this fact that before Sayid went psycho. Okay. Before Sayid went cray-cray on this man and was just having a conversation with him. He's like, my name is Henry Gale. I'm from Minnesota. I met my wife at college. My job is mining and I sold it and that's how I got my money and nobody wanted to talk to me at cocktail parties. And he's very much every little detail. And I mean, they're details. And like, Michael, you brought up, I think there's a show out here that's very similar. It's called To Tell the Truth. And it's with people, and they all sit there, and it's like, no, I'm the person with the hot air balloon. No, I'm the person with the hot air balloon. And so they have to tell their story of like, well, how did you get the hot air balloon? Oh, I sold my car and bought the hot air, you know, whatever it was. And so you have to figure out which one of those people is actually telling the truth. But it's, again, for me, I like look at this as like go back to he was very forthcoming. He had all the information. He was answering those questions. And it's not, he didn't pause to be like, what can I say to make this a lie? It was very much like, what's your wife's maiden name? Murphy. Like right off the bat, like not even, there's obviously I would know that. That's my wife's name. It's only when he goes into this complete duress of it all of like, this dude's gonna really hurt me. I don't and then he's like, how did you bury her? Like Kevin's saying, yeah, I'm blocking that out. I don't want to even think about like burying my loved one. So I don't think it's unmatched or unquestionable, you know.
It completely makes sense. Like a person who is telling the truth is going to act exactly the way Henry Gale is acting. I should believe Henry Gale. I'm just telling you, I don't.
Then on the flip side of that as well, is like, does he have all these answers? Because is this the plan? Is this rehearsed? Has he got all this stuff locked down? He's got his backstory. He knows like what he's doing. It's
when
like,
I was 19 and I had my brother's ID, I knew exactly all my brother's details. I was prepared to answer them.
No, for sure. And that's why this episode is so good, because you really have no idea. Like we could all
really don't know.
There's no set, like maybe Sayid and Rousseau feel this way, but there's no set that this man is lying. Bringing us back to where we end this up.
Can I just briefly mention the Jack and Locke bit as well? Because like as well as the frustration of Jack, I love Jack's like almost manic. He gets like really manic in the eyes when he's like right in Locke's face. It's like, let's just see what's going to happen. I don't think anything's going to happen. And then Locke is like, oh shit, I think I pushed this guy too far. That scene between Jack and Locke is so good.
And like, I remember when like it first came up, like, should Jack push the button? I remember being like, I mean, I guess I'm going to push the button because like, I mean, what if it's a bad thing? But like in this situation, I'd be the same as Jack. I'd be like, I actually never believed this in the first place. So let's see what happens.
Well, and the fact that he can use that as his ammo, right? Like, of being like, I'm not going to go in there and push it. If you really want to push it, then you're going to save this man because I'm not doing it. So, yeah, definitely a huge moment. Anything else on this section? Okay. Here we get our ending. Here we get back to the flashback of it all, where we see them in a truck and they're heading out onto this road. We see some smoke in the distance and things are out in the middle of nowhere. We see the guy that had brought Sayid in talking to him first, like, we need to find the pilot, blah, 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 before Mr. Krabs, obviously. But, like, we saw him standing there. He's like, are you married? Do you have kids? We see him looking at a photo. Jake, did you happen to notice the photo?
I was looking at it, and I remembered Kate's dad was in the military. I'm like, is that Kate?
It is. That is Kate's dad.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So I'm glad I caught on to that. Because
Fun fact, I didn't put this in my fun facts at the beginning because I wanted to see if you actually caught this. Fun fact, that is an actual photo of Evangeline Lilly that they brought in for props from her growing up. So that is an
it did look exactly like her. So
that is an actual picture.
I feel like we should change the theme song of this show to "It's a Small World After All."
It's a small world after all.
Because we just also saw Kate's mom in the diner in the last episode.
Yes, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, so a lot of connections between these castaways here. So we do see him looking at his daughter. Obviously we know from all that situation. But anyway, we get the release of Sayid. They're like, well, we're pulling out. Thanks for everything you did. This is where we find out that he didn't actually need him. He speaks Arabic. He did this to Sayid to put this on him. Dick move. Where's the counter? Like, that was so mean. That was so horrible. Poor sweet baby Sayid, just living his life, being a loyal soldier.
Just trying to He's just trying to be a good citizen.
Well, he brings this up to him now. He said, now you have a new skill set. You never know when it will come in handy. He's like, I will never do that again. Well, we've seen him do it twice now. So, about that. But no, he's like, I will never, what you made me do, that's something I will, like, because it's unfathomable to, like, have to be that person. And again, I just feel so bad for Sayid in this moment that he has now gotten to that point where, like, yeah, he has this skill and he hopes to never use it, but now we've seen him have to use it twice because of things.
On the island, which means...
Right. Correct. We do see him on the beach with Charlie. Charlie does have a friend. Sawyer was wrong. Charlie does have a friend. But they're sitting there talking and or sitting there in silence, I should say. And then out of nowhere, Sayid goes, we have a man down in the hatch. Can you imagine Charlie being like, I was just looking at the sunset. What? What do you mean there's a man in the hatch? But he goes into this information of, I beat him. Like, ruthlessly beat this man. Like, I'm letting you know that we have him down there. And I don't feel any guilt. And that's how I know that this man is another. I don't feel any remorse for what I've done. And it's because I feel like people have forgotten. He brings up, stole Claire. We have no idea what happened to her. Like, literally still, all of us have no idea what happened to Claire. Like, hung you by your neck. Killed poor Scott or Steve. Like, we have zero idea who these people are, and it seems to be, according to Sayid, everyone has forgotten. And the last line of the episode is he looks Charlie dead in the eye and says, have you forgotten? And if like Charlie, I'd be like, dude, he hung me by my neck. No, I did not forget. But no, I mean, it's a great, like, way to end the episode of, like, wait, we have kind of, in us watching it, we have gone way past where Ethan was. You know what I mean? Like, we have gone past, granted, we got a little bit of the other stuff in the other 48, but, like, I think it's more, I love that he's staring directly at Charlie, but he's staring at us through the screen of being like, have you forgotten? And you're like, shit, yeah, I did kind of forget that shit.
I did a little bit forget.
Yeah. So, I mean, great way to end the episode. Like I said, we know that he's staring deeply into the soul of Charlie, but it's almost like you guys as an audience forgot. So, that is the end of the episode. So, Jake, walk us through, I mean, very obviously the more section was right before this, but what did you feel the ending?
Yeah, well, Mr. Krabs is a cheapskate, so not surprised that he would, lie to Sayid. I was thinking Charlie because of the Sayid conversation with him, but and then obviously I don't think Charlie with him, I don't think he's forgotten that he killed Ethan. Like, I think that's gonna stick with him forever. Yeah. So no, I don't think he has forgotten that. I think Charlie got that taste of blood, and so
He wants more.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thoughts on the end of that episode. I think like I'm always thinking of the others too. Like I have not forgotten what they've done, and I've always just been intrigued to see more of them and kind of see what we haven't seen so far, which is with them. So which I hope we will see. So
Yeah, Charlie killed Ethan. He kidnapped a baby. Tried to beat son to death. It's he's got that taste for blood now. If he gets his hands on Henry, God help him.
Right. Yeah. I know that's like Sayid's like, let me just tease Henry to you and let's take you down there in the armory and see what happens.
Unleash Charlie.
Unleash the Beast 2.0.
like a rabid dog.
But yeah, poor Sayid being corrupted and turned into this torturer. But good for us that we get this character.
Yeah.
Lots to unpack here. New character in the mix. So now we have our least favorite, and ranking. Where are we at, Jake?
All right. Favorite, I think I'll go with Sayid. I mean, just like everything with the emotions, can totally feel what he is feeling there. And again, as we've mentioned, kind of just seeing a different perspective in a post 9/11 world. Like, I think that's really, really interesting. Least favorite, what? I just because I do not trust this man, I'm going with Henry Gale. Just because I really do not trust this man, I am going to have him as my least favorite. And I know part of that is also because like Russo and Sayid are telling us that we should not trust him. So, but I don't know. Like it's just hard to trust anybody at this point. We can't even trust Sawyer. So like,
I trust him.
Well, of course you do. But
that's not a shock to anyone.
Yeah, but it's just you're running out of trust with a lot of the characters. Like it's not just something where you can believe everybody at face value. So
that's
I'm going to counteract.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, Michael. That is a really good point, Jake. Of like even just coming out of last episode. There's so much distrust with Ana Lucia now. There's distrust with Jack. There's distrust with Locke. There's a whole chaos shit show right now. So it is a very good point that you bring that up. Sorry, Michael.
Do you know who we're missing? Mr. Echo. We need Mr. Echo.
We need more of him,
Talk some.
I'm going to counteract that and say my favorite character is Henry Gale. He's so like magnetic on screen. He's so good. This show's made up of just amazing acting performances, and yeah, I just love this episode. And like we say, we've sat here for an hour debating, like back and forth about is he another, is he not, and it's so well done and it's so believable. The episode, as well as Sayid, it really hinges on that character being well portrayed. Like if the actor didn't do a good job, this entire story falls apart, and I just think he was amazing in this episode. Least favorite character? I mean, I gotta go Sara. He killed a frog. It was a pretty good episode for like character arcs. Like,
yeah,
I don't think anyone was particularly bad.
I would say I'm torn because this is like that fight between Jack and Locke is like why I love Jack and why I hate Locke, right? Like, Locke is so goddamn gullible.
We know.
But I mean, specific to this episode, I think I have to go with Sayid for the favorite, just because I mean, not only is it his episode, but like he's like the acting, like when he is like breaking down, like you would remember. Like it's so good. And then least favorite. I mean, same Michael, same. I have pet reptiles. I do not appreciate my sweet little froggy friend being crushed. So I'm gonna say Sawyer is my
not
least
to be
favorite.
that guy, but a frog isn't a reptile.
It's an amphibian.
You know what I mean. I have little pets that live in tanks that could fit in the palm of your hand, and you could squish them if you squeeze your hand hard enough. So I feel bad for my little froggy friend, and
He was so cute.
I will say, like I said during the episode, that like it is intentional. Like he is written to be disliked, and that is an intentional choice by the writers, but it worked.
So obviously we know where this is going. Sawyer is saving the day because there's one less creepy crawly out there to scare me in the night. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, listen, I don't do the creepy crawlies, so like it's fine. It's just a frog. It's just a frog. With that, no, my favorite character is Henry Gale. Like, I want to know more. Like this, there's so much story arc here. Like, we are getting detail after detail after detail, and I want more details. I want to find out, are you telling the truth? Are you Henry Gale? Are you not? Are you another? Like, I want this information, and he does it flawlessly. His performance, like Michael mentioned, is just, Michael Emerson is amazing. Like, it's so good, and you're intrigued. It's like when Ethan appeared, you're like, I love Ethan. Like, I want more. And so with that, I am definitely making Henry Gale my favorite. I am torn. And I feel like you guys are not going to like me here in a second.
Oh, let me get the button ready.
Get ready to turn your cameras off. I contemplated doing this, but I am going to go with Hurley. Everybody turn the cameras off. I already know. I'm going to explain why, though. I'm going to explain why. Hurley is sitting there basically pot calling kettle. We all know that, like, we're all mad at Sawyer for having his secret stash, and then we took the stash, and now he has a new stash, and he's the bad guy for all of these things. Hurley is sitting there with a stash, like, and granted, everybody takes their own. You ranch dip away to your heart's content, but I do feel like this is pot calling the kettle black, and especially from a Hurley standpoint, I could see it from other people, but Hurley is kind of our, like, you know, like our namaste, like, calm, cool, collected Hurley, where he's very, like, in the middle. And I feel like this was a very pot calling kettle black. So I'm going with Hurley.
I want you. I'm not taking this bait. I'm not arguing with you. I know that you say things just to get us to argue with you. I'm not falling for it this time.
I'm literally saying that because I feel like it is a double ed. Like, that is a pot calling kettle.
I will say, it is a bit selfish on an island with, 40 survivors to have your own little stash of food. Like, yeah, okay, but we haven't seen Hurley be against Sawyer. Like, he hasn't been one of the vocal anti-Sawyer people.
No, but I'm just pointing out, like, the again, pot kettle of it all. Not so much like he's like torches and all that to go get Sawyer.
I understand that more than when you made Shannon Lee's favorite for no reason every episode, even when she wasn't even in
it. She was in the previously on. I'm surprised she didn't get a shout out here.
You know what? I almost did. Just to see her ugly face again, but I decided to get it. I just was happy I got to laugh at her dying again. It was great.
Oh my god.
I'm not taking any of this bait, Kristin. I'm not taking any of this bait.
All right. The episode rankings, where do we sit, Michael?
We have... Should I do the season 2 and then we can see where it fits in there and if it goes higher? We have Orientation, The Other 48 Days, Man of Science, Man of Faith, The Long Con, 23rd Psalm, Hunting Party, Adrift, Collision, What Kate Did, Abandoned, Everybody Hates Hugo, and Found, Fire and Water.
We also
didn't have to say and Found.
We put Fire and Water last just for you for that moment, just so you know.
I appreciate it.
All right. All right. This episode, geez, I don't know. I feel like there's some really good stuff here, and like I'm really intrigued by what's going to happen moving forward, so it should be in the top 10. I would say, honestly, though, like I'll probably say like 7 or 8. I don't know. Like
Jake, I'm so intrigued by your ranking system. It seems like you just think of it and then like decide a number to give it, and not like think about the other shows in the list. You're just like,
well, I'm thinking, I'm thinking if I really like it or like it's a good episode. But like there are episodes above that. I mean, like I'm thinking Orientation, Man of Science, Man of Faith. Like I'm just thinking of some of these episodes, 23rd Psalm and then The Long Con. Like I feel like those episodes I enjoyed just a little bit more. Not that this was bad or anything. 6, 7, or 8 just seems about right. So I'll give this like 7.
I'm with Jake on this. Like, I could put it. It's definitely under Long Con, which is number 4, right? And then it goes 23rd Psalm. And then what's after 23rd Psalm?
The Hunting Party, and the Hunting Party is the last in the top 10. So
yeah, see, I think it's under Hunting Party because I don't think we're there yet with Henry Gale. I think this is like the intro to it. I feel like there's going to be more to that. So I think, I mean, the whole light 'em up of it all, like where we're like seeing kind of the bandwidth of the other, so much more intriguing. So I'm with Jake. I'm saying 7.
I think the overall episode, I could easily slide it in above Hunting Party, just because I think the overall episode, the Hunting Party, that there's that amazing scene. And I think this is just like 40 minutes of intense brutality. But I think it's like just in that area. I'm not like, it's not my hill to die on if it ends up above or below. Like I'm happy around that area.
Too, Michael. Like I don't.
Yeah, it goes.
I don't hate it.
It goes Hunting Party and then Adrift.
Yes.
Yeah, I would put it right in between. I would put the right in between those two. Yeah. Because this isn't, the execution is very good, but like because it's a little like, it's like not fun. Like I don't feel good watching Sayid torture people. So like it is very well done. I feel horrible for Sayid, like that he's been through that. Like I'm on this emotional journey with all of them, and I'm very invested. But it's not one that I like want to watch that part of that story again. I do want to watch the parts with Henry Gale again because I need to know everything. So because like a half and half, yeah, I would say it's around there. And like similar to Adrift has that it like that haunting Michael like just waking up crying on the pontoon, right? Like similar, like Sayid just having that breakdown. So like I think they're very similar. I think those two they go together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would put it at the new number 7, and it just doesn't quite break into the top 10 overall.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. All right.
Look at all of us in agreement for once. It's a miracle.
Yay. Hooray, hooray.
Henry Gale bringing us all together. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's 14 episodes down. We got 10 episodes left in season 2. So 10 more episodes until our season 2 Brant Steele, which should be quite interesting already, judging by how many characters we will have to somehow fit into that.
And Kristin will not be first boot.
We'll see if you are.
I mean, we'll see. You didn't think you were going to be first boot last time either.
Yeah. If you get Francesca, I'm going to laugh so hard.
Maybe. Who knows?
Oh my God. But yeah, so tune in to this and all the rest of our great content, and we will see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.
I love you. Hello, everyone. We are here for the Tribe of Nerds after Jake, the spoiler section of Lost. So if you have not seen Lost in its entirety, get out. Goodbye. Shoo, shoo, shoo. We spoil everything all the way to the very end. So please get out.
If you do not want to know about Henry Gale, because you don't already know, leave now. Comment your
prediction. I think they're gone. Let's talk about Ben.
Yes. Oh my God. I said Ben I almost said it so many times. Like I had to stop myself so many times. But also not just Ben. We're going to get Kelvin because I almost said Kelvin too. So let's go to Ben first because we've been waiting for this episode. Michael,
there was a moment where I thought I wasn't going to be around
freaking out. As soon as I heard his little voice, I was like, the problem is, how am I not going to make him my favorite character every single episode?
I know. Because then Jake's going to be like, why are you making him your favorite character? Is he really good?
But he's just so good.
Right. No, I was like, no, I'm going to have to pick someone else because we can't just all pick him as our favorite character.
it's worthy in this episode because he's so intriguing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
this is
and the mystery of it is very good, but when you know the answer to the mystery, watching this is so good, right? Like,
so spot on with his lies. That's insane to me.
It's so good.
But and even like again, I argued when we were doing that, like I wouldn't know how deep I buried. Like that's stupid, Sayid. Like that's a stupid. He just gave you every possible detail that you could ever want to know about.
I would not know either. I would not know.
Like I don't think that's actually Ben getting his lie wrong. I think that is Ben genuinely being flustered, like in that situation. Like
oh shit, I didn't plan this one. But we know
flustered very often.
You don't. But what's crazy about this is we know that coming up, he's sending them out there to the balloon. He draws the map to the balloon to solidify this is happening. Like I'm telling you the truth.
I mean,
and that ending on that episode.
Like, I will tell you, I did not trust him at all until they found the balloon. And I was like, oh, I was wrong. So for that little bit of time in that episode, I was like, I guess I was wrong. Like,
right. And then they show up and they're like, we dug up that grave. It's like, oh my God.
Yes.
Who would have thought
and
that?
Also in that episode, he's been helpful with John. He like saves John. He comes back for John. So you're like, oh yeah, they found the balloon. He's helping Locke. Like
he is Henry Gale.
He's a good guy after all. And then also with the whole Ben thing, I just find this so funny that Ben's plan here, Ben is dying. He needs Jack. He needs surgery on his spine. And he's going there to try and infiltrate, do an Ethan, and he gets captured by Danielle. Can you just imagine Ben like, oh shit.
The mother of his adoptive child.
Which is so funny because I wanted to bring this up because I want to see what the viewers think because I'm like, just had this episode with Kaysen when he does steal Alex, the baby that we know, and he's the one that does it, and he's in the tent, and so I'm like, does she recognize him? And that's why she knows for a fact, like knows 100%. But like you guys, we were talking before we came on here. It's like, yeah, if she knew, she probably.
I wonder if it's like a subconscious, like she has blocked out like her conscious memory, but subconscious that she still knows.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you guys did bring up a good point. Like, if she realized this is who took Alex, he probably would.
If she consciously knew, she would have.
He wouldn't have
meant to kill him.
Yeah, he wouldn't have made.
She wouldn't have hit his shoulder.
Yeah.
From my memory from that scene, it's like they shoot Ben's face in the darkness, like he's in the corner of the tent. So I don't think she saw his face. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't know who.
I don't remember.
It was a dark tent. It was a very dark, but I mean, there was some lighting because of like the moon outside, whatever. But like, yeah, no, she probably didn't. I was curious because she was like, he is another, and I'm like, oh, huh. So that was one of my things. So tell me,
she's right.
She's right for sure. I mean, there's so much that we're going to unpack with Ben. Obviously, he's not just another, he is the other. He is the leader of the others. Well, minus like Jacob and all of that hashtag stuff, or half-assed stuff that we have to get to later. But he is who's calling the shots. It's not Beardo. It's not Tom Friendly. It is Ben. So yeah, I mean, he's not just the other. He is the other.
The other.
At the end of this season, him walking out with his face still healing from Sayid when he walks up onto that dock.
He looks rough in the next couple episodes.
Again, makeup like on point, but like him walking up on the dock with like the starting to fade the bruises, but he's still like the scratches, all those things. You're like, damn, dude. Like, he really
for the rest of the show, every time his bruises start to heal, someone else gives him a punch. It's like he's always got something on his face.
It's so funny.
One last thing on.
Yeah, go ahead.
One last thing on Ben as well. I just again find it so funny that Ben knows these people. He has files on them. He knows exactly who they are. So when he gets brought into that room by Sayid, he knows who Sayid is, and he's like, can you imagine what's going through Ben's mind of like, oh shit, like.
I cannot imagine.
I know who Sayid is, and he's going to torture me.
Anybody else you could have sent me to, Rousseau.
I want to be clear. I never know what's going through Ben's mind. That man is an enigma. Like he is beyond my capability of thinking what someone else is thinking. So no, I can't imagine what's going on in his mind.
Kudos to that point though, Michael, is he does know exactly who that is. For him to keep that cool for so long and be able to provide all those details and like those lies as swiftly as he does, and even still be believable because he doesn't know how much he buried her, because it's not unfathomable to think. For him to like know the extent that is Sayid, to be like, oh, hi, what's your name? How you doing?
And also the fact that like it kind of doesn't matter to it, because it's all or nothing here. This is, if he doesn't do this, he's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I might get tortured, but like I have to do this to save my life. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's difficult to threaten someone who's, on death's door.
Right.
So it's like he's just kind of doing what he has to do. If I have to get tortured a little bit to gain Jack's trust, well, so be it.
Right. I did want to bring up your point too, because it's so funny, especially his face, because it's like, I don't know if they like took a picture of it and tried to recreate it, but it's, again, Case and I are so far ahead of us at this point, but we got to the point where he goes to kill Penny, Desmond's now wife / mother of his child, and Charles Winmore's daughter. And Desmond beats the shit out of him too with his face. And when he shows up to the plane, his face looks very much like it does here. Like it's funny you brought that up. Of like, man, he just he can't heal because he keeps getting punched out.
Yeah,
for a good reason.
I mean, he's very punchable.
He is. I mean, we could sit here and talk all day about Ben. I'm so excited we have Ben on our screen.
Ben is on the board.
I'm gonna have to keep calling Henry Gale for the next 3 episodes. But I want to talk about Kelvin, which I almost ruined. I almost said Kelvin again tonight too on this podcast. But we get Kelvin, which we know in this finale of 2, that's who Desmond is saved by and brought down into the hatch to push the button, and then he kills Kelvin on accident, technically, on the day that their plane crashes. So we do know that that's what happens with the button. This magnetic force caused the plane to crash. So Kelvin, we will see him again as well. So
no Clancy Brown.
Yes. Also, I want to point out, we are going to be doing a podcast tomorrow, and it's going to be for maternity leave. And it's funny that it's on Mother's Day. So
oh, cute.
Yeah, it won't air on Mother's Day, but I will make sure to bring it up to Jake tomorrow too, because it's going to be, I didn't want to say anything today because obviously I want him to not start thinking what can maternity leave mean. But we're going to finally find out what happened to Claire.
Smile and magic. We didn't plan that.
No, we did not plan that at all. It's crazy. So anyway, with that, anything else you guys want to talk about of One of Us?
Just so glad Ben's here.
Me too.
We get to talk about him for the next 5 seasons.
I know.
4 seasons, whatever. So good.
Kevin's pod.
No, I think no. I mean, we are going to see them not push the button again for longer.
Coming up in the finale, not too far from. I mean,
yeah.
It was crazy. Jake's like, we have 10 episodes left. I was like, holy crap, we do only have 10 episodes left. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So with that, again, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Let us know your thoughts on this. Obviously, if it's a spoiler, please put spoiler in 5,000 things so Jake doesn't read it.
Spoiler.
Yes. So that he has to click on see more. But yeah, please let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you, don't put if you think we're so remember some, because then Jake's gonna be like, remember some from what? But let us know in that spoiler section that you put the 5,000 dots for. But yeah, we want to hear your thoughts, comments, all that. Why you're team me and not team these two, but all of that.
Are you team Sawyer or team Frog?
Listen, he just saved me from the creepy crawlies. It's fine. It's fine. So with that, we'll see you guys next time for another episode of the Tribe of Nerds after Jake is a spoiler section. Bye.